See, this story will show you how to control your mouth. So Steven was in the second year university when he met this beautiful girl. Her name is Jeremy. He met Jeremy through his best friend. She was a friend to his best friend's girlfriend, you get. Now, when we're talking about girls with the full and complete package, man, she has it. Her shape, her style always has men like turning their necks. You know, and she's God-fearing, she's loyal, the whole 9 yards. Now, when Steven met Jeremy, he was broke, like proper broke. They started as friends, they fell in love, things upgraded between them, and they became inseparable. Now, Jeremy has guys always asking for attention, but she always turned them away because she has a man that she loves dearly. Now, please understand that sometimes when it gets really tight for Steven, it is even Jeremy that will come through for him. Like, he can't even afford to eat sometimes, she'll bring food, you know, all of that. And Steven is a very emotional person, like not having money used to get to him a lot. She's the one that will be reassuring him it's gonna be alright, cheering him up. Now, a whole year has passed, and things were kind of like still the same for Steven, like he's not rich yet. But in all fairness to Steven, he was doing everything he could. In fact, it was the whole trying to work hard that made him go take a part-time job at a filling station. He used to do evening shifts. When he finished from school, he goes to work, like he was selling petrol. You see how beautiful Jeremy was? You'd understand, like, it takes a lot for a girl like that to still stay and stand by Steven, even through all of that. So follow me on this story, but please understand that Jeremy tried. That's my point. Now, after a while, Steven started feeling insecure. Not Jeremy's doing. Steven was just feeling insecure because, yeah, she's incredibly beautiful. No, there's no way that Jeremy would go that she will not get maximum attention. But she's always telling anyone that I have a man that I love. Still, that one no do Steven. No. Steven's insecurity is deep. Like, he's always having it at the back of his mind. Man will never get money, nah, man be that, you know, all those thoughts. His insecurity was just going through the roof. Maybe he would feel better if he saw broke guys toasting. I don't even understand. But anytime he sees a well-to-do guy, somebody maybe driving a car or something, asking her out, Steven would have thought of many things. He would be depressed and so on. So of course, it got to a point, the insecurities affected the relationship because there was always arguments. And at this point, Jeremy was getting tired of explaining herself all the time. So they had constant arguments that they could not resolve, and they broke up. Now, please note they were both fully heartbroken. Steven reached out to her, telling her how he's not been able to think straight. She's saying she feels the emotions too, but Jeremy insisted that they needed a break, at least for the moment. Now, Steven agreed and they remained friends, but it's obvious they really deeply care about each other. Now, Jeremy tried to move on. She dated some guy, but it didn't last up to a month. Now, weeks turned to months and months turned to over a year. Now, there's this very close friend of Steven that introduced him to gift cards, like people buying and selling gift card kind of thing. And it happens that there's a lot of money in that business. Long story short, things started to get better for Steven financially. Like, my guy was alright. Now, after touching all this money, one of the things that was on Steven's mind was getting Jeremy back, because he couldn't deny it. He knew he was the problem. He knew his insecurities was like the biggest issue then. So he told his friend, the one that made him rich. But the response he got from that his friend was shocking. His friend told him that Jeremy had moved on now. Come on. Like, he even knows the guy. He's a baller, he's got money too. And like, dude was really, you know, taking care of her, spending and all that. Now, Steven was surprised to hear this because he and Jeremy kept in touch. Like, they speak once in a while, but she never mentioned about anything like that to him. Now, this is very good friend was still insistent, saying, guy, forget the Jeremy you're talking about has moved on. You too, move on. You have what you need to get a good girl now, and so on and so forth. But inside, Steven is emotionally invested in Jeremy. Like, he never stopped loving her. Only issue was that back then, he knew he couldn't handle the pressure of being with such a beautiful girl when he was feeling less of himself as a man. But now that he's more confident in himself, all the one that his friend is telling him is just falling on deaf ears. So he thought about the whole issue and decided to ask Jeremy out again. So when they got to talking and all of that, she told him she's been single for a very long time. Now, this is conflicting with what Steven's friend was telling Steven. So Steven in his head now is thinking like, what's going on, right? So Jeremy told Steven everything, like, yeah, she dated some guy, but it was very brief. It wasn't even up to a month. You know, that she broke up with the guy because he was always treating her like a third option. The guy would call only when he needs her, and after that, he's gone. He doesn't call or check. He doesn't care about her. So Steven now asked, like, are you still with this guy in one way or the other situation? You understand? And she said outrightly, no. Jeremy now switched the tables, started interrogating Steven. That, okay, what did you hear? Who told you what? Well, Steven now, I don't know, started opening his mouth and saying what the friend had told him about Jeremy. Well, as expected, Jeremy didn't take it lightly. She didn't take it well. She got angry. A couple of days later, that Steven's friend heard that Steven and Jeremy are back together, lovey-dovey. Now, please understand that this guy means a lot to Steven because it literally brought Steven out of depression. You know, by introducing him to the buy and sell gift card business thing that made Steven rich. So Steven does not joke with that guy. Steven felt bad when that his friend got angry. That guy, what do you still do with this girl? Girl that you guys broke up, you wanted to get back with her. She insisted that you guys need a break. She went ahead to date someone else. You know, so this Steven's friend was just not having it. But last, is it not Steven's relationship? Steven stood his ground that he wants this girl. The past is the past, blah, blah, blah. This Steven's friend, on the other hand, felt like, let's say something they do this, my guy. And he decided to distance himself from Steven. So here is now the confusion. The guy that helped my life or the woman that I love? Both of them mean so much to Steven. Which one will he choose? Which one will he let go? Steven let go of that his guy, his friend, the one that made him rich, and he chose Jeremy. Me personally, I don't know how I feel about it. A part of me says that Steven's friend should be happy for Steven all the same. So long as Steven is happy, he wants Jeremy, be happy for him. Another part of me is saying that when you guys broke up, you wanted this girl. You went to beg this girl. She said no. She insisted that you guys should have a break and she went ahead to date another person. Is that still the same girl to go back for? Maybe love is blind, truly. Well, let me know what you think.